Alright, so we're now recording our today's discussion. And right now, I'm showing to you our first module. So our first module is about the digital systems and switching circuits. So I have here some few questions. Pwede po tayong sumagot if we would like. Ang unang katanungan, what is logic circuits and switching theory? Kasi ngayon yung subject nyo ay logic circuits and design. Pero before, we have logic circuits and switching theory, tapos meron pa tayong tinatawag na advanced logic circuits and switching theory. So, ano nga po ba ang ibig sabihin ng logic circuits and switching theory? Yun yung mga sasagutin po natin as we go along with the discussion. And then, of course, maybe you have some idea or ideas about logic circuits and switching theory. As I have said before, meron kayong discrete mathematics na subject, meron kayong electronics na subject, circuits analysis. So, yung mga subjects na yun po, even physics po, ay related pa rin sa logic circuits and switching theory, even your algebra. And then, ano ba yung essence ng logic circuits and switching theory? Actually, guys, this is one of the core or the foundation of computer engineering. Dapat, kapag computer engineer ka, magaling ka sa digital systems. Kasi most of the work or yung talagang job talaga ng isang computer engineer kapag nagpunta ka sa industry ay related sa digital systems. Yun nga, katulad ng trabaho ko, so IC design. So, siyempre, part pa rin naman ng trabaho ng computer engineering yung maging computer technician, maging programmer. Wala namang harm po doon or maging network engineer. Pero kapag kasi i-combine mo talaga yung software at saka yung hardware, kailangan magaling ka in terms ng digital systems. And that is one of the core ng computer engineering. Ayan. At hopefully, tayo pong lahat, before the end of the term, tayo pong lahat ay matuto about this ideas or topics. So, i-define na natin, ano bang ibig sabihin ng digital circuits and switching circuits? Digital systems are used extensively in computation and data processing, control systems, communications, and measurement. Ayan, di ba? Ang dami. So, kaya sinabi ko sa inyo, in the industry, marami talaga na trabaho na related sa digital systems. So, even in the perspective of IC designing nga, ginagamit yung digital systems. And not to mention yung mga sinabi ko kanina, we have here data processing, control systems, communications, and measurement. Sa digital system, the physical quantities or signals can assume only discrete values. So, ang madali kasi sa digital system, laging ganito yan, 0 or 1 or 1 or 0, on, off, open, close, yes or no. Laging ganun lang. Pero pag pinag-usapan na natin yung analog systems, the physical quantities or signals may vary continuously over a specified range. So, hindi siya katulad ng discrete values or ng digital na 0 or 1. So, maaring from 0 to 1, meron pa siyang different decimal values like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 bago pa siya makarating ng 1. Pero since tayong ay computer engineers, lagi nating concern is yung maintindihan ng computer, kaya ang concern natin lagi is the values of 0 and 1. Kaya all throughout our experimentations, both in the laboratory and machine experiments, laging ganun lang naman. Laging 0 or 1 ang ating gagamitin. So, merong tatlong parts ng digital system design. So, we have the system design, the logic design, and the circuit design. So, kailangan nating maintindihan ano ba yung differences ng tatlong ito. By the way, from time to time, chinecheck ko baka may nag-join pa na mga students. Ayan, first slide. Okay. So, let's differentiate. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng tatlo? So, una, pag sinabi natin na system design, involves breaking the overall system into subsystems and specifying the characteristics of each subsystem. Ayan, di ba naging estudyante ko kayo sa Excel macro program sa software design? So, nag-design tayo ng sarili natin na program or sarili po natin na software. And then as we design, meron tayong different modules na ginagamit. So dinidivide po natin yung ating codes into different modules or chunks. So if that's the case, ang tawag po dun ay system design. Example of which involves specifying the number and the type of the memory units, arithmetic units, and input-output devices, as well as the interconnection and control of these subsystems. So parang meron kang isang subsystem na memory units, another for the arithmetic units, and then another for the input and output devices, something like that. And then ini-integrate mo siya all together, kinoconnect mo sila to form a bigger system. Alright, so yun pong ibig sabihin ng system design. Parang katulad ng ginawa nyo rin sa inyong software design nga na halimbawa gumawa ka ng enrollment system, di ba merong registration, merong part na nag-generate ng certificate ng registration, and then merong payment, and so on and so forth. So those are the different subsystems that can formulate a bigger system. Ano naman kapag sinabi natin na logic design? So basically, it involves determining how to interconnect basic logic building blocks to perform a specific function. Ito yung focus natin for this course. Ang tawag sa'yo kapag marunong ka na mag-design, mag-interconnect ng mga basic logic gates, so nga yung mga AND gate, OR gate, NOT gate, basic lang po yun, pero we do have a lot of gates pa naman, tawag sa'yo ay logic designer. Yan. So, dinidetermine mo yung interconnection ng logic gates and flip-flops required to perform binary addition. So, this is just an example. So, sa logic design, pwede po na may combination ng combinational circuit at meron din po na sequential circuit. Kaya dito sa example na binigay ko, meron tayong flip-flops. Sa sequential circuit kasi, pag-aaralan natin yung mga different types ng flip-flops. Like the D flip-flop, the T flip-flop, the SR or the RS flip-flop, the JK flip-flop. So lahat po yun pag-aaralan po natin. And later on, i-differentiate natin ano ba yung pagkakaiba ng combinational sa sequential circuit. Ano naman, Sir Caldo, yung circuit design? So ito yung mga napagdaanan mo na before. It involves specifying the interconnection of specific components such as resistors, diodes, and transistors to form a gate, flip-flop, or other logic building block. Yung kasing loob actually guys ng ICs, ang loob po nun ay mga transistors. Alright. Pero hindi na tayo concerned ngayon kung gumamit ba tayo ng NMOS, gumamit ba tayo ng PMOS, ng BJT, gumamit ba tayo ng resistors, ng capacitors, ng diodes, ng mga basic components ng mga electronic devices. Kasi yung circuit design, dinidiscuss ito sa subject na electronics at saka sa circuits analysis. So sa case po ninyo, nadaanan nyo na po yung system design, nadaanan nyo na yung circuit design, and then yung focus natin today is the logic design. In some cases, we also use appropriate computer-aided design tools or the CAD tools to lay out and interconnect the components on a chip of silicon. Kapag pumunta na po tayo sa higher level ng application ng IC, ginagamit na po natin yung mga computer-aided design. Bakit po ba tayo gumagamit ng mga CAD tool or ng mga EDA tool? Kasi hindi mo na siya kayang gawin using yung mga readily available na mga ICs na i-connect mo lang sa breadboard. Kasi nagiging complex na po yung ating circuit. Imagine, so halimbawa, pinagawa kita ng isang circuit pero kailangan million of gates ang gagamitin mo. Eh di ba sabi ko sa inyo, yung isang IC would cost 30 pesos. So kung gagawin mo siya, implement mo siya manually using breadboard, baka habang buhay mo na yung ginagawa, and at the same time, it will cost you more than 30 mil or about 30 million. Diba? So hindi makatarungan na gawin po natin siya. So that's why gumagamit tayo ng mga tinatawag natin na computer-aided design tools. Alright. Ayan. So mukhang naka-join na yata lahat. Let's further continue after the parts of the digital system design. Ayan. So ano naman, Sir Caldo, yung switching circuit? So switching circuit, parang switches on-off. So meron lang tayong one or more inputs and one or more outputs which take on discrete values. So regardless kung marami kang inputs at marami kang outputs, yung input mo pa rin tsaka output mo pa rin, pareho pa rin yan na binary in nature. Either 1 or 0 pa rin yung mga inputs at saka mga outputs po natin. So may dalawang types ng switching circuit as I have said. We have the combinational circuit and the sequential circuit. Sa Saturday, combinational muna po yung ating gagawin. Ano ba, Sir Caldo, yung combinational circuit? The output values depend only on the present value of the inputs and not on past values. Bawa, tinuruan ko na kayo, gagawa tayo ng truth table. And sa truth table, ito yung mga input combinations. Yung output mo, depende lang dun sa input combinations mo. Alright, so yun po yung combinational circuit. Unlike yung sequential, ang sequential kasi will depend on both the present and the past values. Kaya nga meron siyang memory na tinatawag or the memory elements. In some cases, to make it simpler, meron siyang clock. In order to determine the output of a sequential circuit, a sequence of input values must be specified. In general, a sequential circuit is composed of a combinational circuit with added memory elements. Kaya uunahin muna natin na pag-aralan yung simplest, yung combinational, bago tayo pumunta sa sequential sa mga pre-final or final period na po yan. Kasi kailangan ma-master mo muna yung mga combinational circuits. Tandaan mo, the only difference is that yung sequential, pinapakailaman niya na yung previous at saka yung next state. Meron na siyang clock na kino-consider. So yung stored value, kino-consider na po natin sa sequential circuit. Unlike for the combinational, wala po yung clock. So nakadepende lang po yan kung ano yung combinations ng ating inputs. So yung example ng switching circuit, very easy to understand. Parang input process output lang po ito. As you can see, regardless of how many inputs do you have, from x sub 1 to xm, you will have, of course, several outputs from Z1 to Zn. Pero lahat po ng mga inputs sa outputs nga natin will always take values of 0 or 1. So, ganun kasimple lang. These are some of the terminologies para nagkakaintindihan tayo. Pag ako ay nagpapalaboratory, pag sinabi kong logic gates, dapat naintindihan mo that is the basic building blocks used to construct combinational circuits. Yung mga fundamental logic gates natin, we have the AND gate, the OR gate, and the NOT gate. Ano po ba yung function ng tatlo? Pag-aaralan natin yon soon. And then, anong tawag naman doon sa nagde-design ng mga logic gates na ito, nag-interconnect para makapag-convert ng circuit input signals to desired output signals? Logic designer. So, ikaw yan. Sabi ko sa inyo, may mga trabaho. Kapag nag-work ka sa industry, merong trabaho na RTL engineer, may trabaho na verification engineer, may trabaho na synthesis engineer. Ayan, so madami po yun. Iba-iba sila ng task na ginagawa. Pero lahat ng mga task na ginagawa po nila, meron pang specifications engineer, dadaanan natin as we do the experimentations. Ano naman, Sir Caldong, Boolean algebra? So from the term itself, Boolean, lagi yung 1 or 0 lang din. A mathematical description of the relationship between input and output signals. Basically, we make use of the concept of the algebra, pero since Boolean ito, lagi lang ang consideration natin ay 0 and then 1. So the first step in designing a combinational logic circuit is to derive a table or the algebraic logic equations which describe the circuit outputs as a function of the circuit inputs. So, bibigyan ka ng equation. From the equation, makakagawa tayo ng truth table. From the truth table, pwede po tayong gumawa ng logic symbol. Alright. So, dadaanan po natin yan. Don't worry. Kasi nag-terminology pa lang naman tayo. Unlike for the sequential switching circuit, ang kinukonstruct na natin, hindi yung truth table. Ang tawag na sa ginagawa natin is the state table or graph. Sa ibang book, state transition diagram. Yun, mga bilog-bilog siya na paikot, tapos may nakalagay na previous state at saka next state. That will describe the relationship between the input and output sequences. Kasi nga sabi ko sa inyo, meron na siyang clock. So, hindi po pwede na simpleng table lang yung gagamitin natin for that. Alright, so may nahabol pa. Okay. So, let's further continue. Done na tayo with the terminologies. Ayan, so another terminology pa pala na nilagay ko is the synchronous sequential circuits. Sequential circuits that make use of common timing signal called a clock to synchronize the operation of the memory element. So parang katulad ng ginagawa natin right now, guys, diba? So Na-add ko na naman yata lahat. So, ang ginagawa natin right now, nagkaklase tayo synchronously. So, sabay-sabay nating ginagawa. So, merong timing na nagko-control for us to do this virtual discussion. Pag sinabi natin ng mga two-state devices, the condition for which the switching devices used in digital systems are designed, it means that the output can assume only two different discrete values, yun nga, 0 or 1. Example ng mga switching devices, relays, diodes, transistors. Yan. Relay can assume two states, lagi lang naman yung close or open depending on whether power is applied to the coil or not. Ganon din ang diode. Pwedeng sabihin lang natin diode, nagko-conduct ba siya or non-conducting state. Ganon din ang transistor. Pwedeng tatawagin natin siya as cut-off or saturated state with a corresponding high or low output voltage. So nakikita nyo, yung mga electronic devices pala, nare-represent din po natin into two-state devices 0, 1. So because the outputs of most switching devices assume only two different values, it is natural to use binary numbers internally in digital systems. And as you know, yung language na naintindihan ng computer is binary as well. 'Di ba? 0, 1. Ngayon, i-differentiate lang natin yung differences between the analog and the digital systems. Ayan. Alam na po natin that the analog systems process analog signals which can take any value within a range, katulad ng output from an LDR or the light sensor or a microphone. An audio amplifier is also an example of the analog system. The amplifier produces an output voltage which can be any value within the range of its power supply. 'Di ba? So hindi lang naman siya laging 0 or 1. Nakagamit na rin naman siguro tayo ng analog meter. It display any value within the range available on its scale. However, the precision of readings is limited by our ability to read them. For example, the meter on the right shows 1.25 volts because the pointer is estimated to be halfway between 1.2 and 1.3. The analog meter can show any value between 1.2 and 1.3, but we are unable to read the scale more precisely than about a division. Ayan, so ito po yung minention ko kanina. So as you can see, ang representation actually ng analog systems is more of sine wave or sinusoidal wave. Ayan. Another examples of which, yung mga old radios, megaphones, and the volume control on old telephone handsets. So, yung values niya is not only 0 and 1. Unlike for digital systems, we process digital signals which can take only a limited number of values. So, hindi naman minsan lagi na sinabi lang natin na 0 or 1. Halimbawa, magkoconnect tayo with VCC. So, ano ba yung pinower natin? Ano yung kailangan na voltage ng IC? Halimbawa, 3.3 volts, yun yung 1. And then yung ground, yun yung 0. So, 0 and then 3.3 volts, something like that. So, dalawa pa rin yung choice natin, either 0 or 1. Example of which yung mga logic gates ang gagawin natin this Saturday, flip-flops, shift registers, and counters. A computer is also an example of digital system. Ayan. A digital meter, siguro nakagamit na rin naman tayo, can display many values but not every value within its range. For example, the display on the right can show 6.25 and 6.26 but not a value between them. This is not a problem because digital meters normally have sufficient digits to show values more precisely than it is possible to read an analog display. Yan. Yung representation actually ng digital systems is like a square wave. So nakikita nyo lagi lang siyang 0 or 1. So syempre yung mga nasa taas, this is 1, then yung nasa baba is 0. Kaya nga may subject na digital and data communication. So nagtuturo din po tayo noon. Tinuturo din yung mga techniques on how to convert analog to digital and digital to analog and vice versa. Yan. So another example is of course the Morse code. Of course, introduced by Samuel Morse in 1837 as a method of communication. Yung kasing mga Morse code is actually ginagamit din for security reasons. Normally, yung mga ganitong mga concepts or algorithms ay na-establish to protect themselves. Minsan ginagamit for encryption, for decryption. Kasi during wars before, para makapag-send ka ng signals, it has to be different para hindi po mabasa ng kaaway. So, this is an example of a typical digital signals. Nakikita nyo on off lang din po siya. Ayan. And now, let's move on to the logic signals. Alright. Ayan, may nahabol pa. For the logic signals, ayan, nakikita nyo dito, meron akong simple representation ng table. For the logic signals, we could use true or false. Siyempre, yung true could be 1, high, and then plus VS or the BCC, and then the on. Yun yung true. And then yung false natin would be the 0, the low, the 0 volts, and the off. So, laging ganun lang. Ang logic signals is related actually sa digital signals. So, either true or false lang siya or 0 or 1. More additional information about digital systems. Ayan. This is another way on how to represent. It takes a set of discrete information inputs and discrete internal information or the system state. Ayan, so bidirectional, and generates a set of discrete information outputs. So, yung kanina na represent ko sa switching circuits, it's just the inputs and the outputs and the process inside. Pero, in the process inside, syempre, meron pa tayong mga discrete internal information, mga information na kailangan natin to be processed para magkaroon tayo ng desirable outputs. Pero yung state din naman po niya is always 0 and then 1. So, types of digital system. So, no state present. And then state present. Ayan. Either synchronous or asynchronous. Parang katulad din ng ginagawa nga natin, di ba? Asynchronous, ibig sabihin, in a certain period of time, meron kayong i-deliver. Hindi nyo man siya ginagawa ng sabay-sabay, pero merong duration, merong period of time na kailangan nyo siyang matapos. Yun naman yung asynchronous. Unlike for synchronous, talagang sabay-sabay siya. So this is basically a digital computer example. So parang review lang to. So we have here, of course, the central processing unit. Of course, nasa loob niyan yung control unit and the data path. Data path is malaki yan. Depende kung ano-anong mga operations ang ating pine-perform like the arithmetic logic units and so on and so forth. And then, of course, meron tayong input and output na pinapasok sa ating computer at meron tayong memory. Meron tayong storage ng ating mga values. Yung pagpasok at paglabas ng ating mga inputs and outputs, tayo rin na magde-decide sabay-sabay ba or merong certain period of time kung kailan siya papasok at merong certain period of time kung kailan siya lalabas. So, of course, these are some of the examples of the inputs that we have, the input devices and the output devices. So, simple. Beyond that, ngayon, meron na rin tayong tinatawag na embedded systems. So, meron din kayong subject na embedded systems. I think prerequisite yung ating subject. So, examples of which yung microcomputers, microcontrollers, and of course, the digital signal processors. Kumbaga, ini-embed lahat ng mga codes natin into a specific computer. Examples of which, yung mga cellphones natin, automobiles, video games, copiers, dishwashers, flat panel TVs, GPS, and many, many more. Ayan. Yung information representation natin can also be represented by physical quantities. Ayan, so laging ganon, binary values are represented by values or ranges of values of physical quantities. Ayan, 0 and 1. This is an example of signal over time. Ayan, so kita natin yung analog representation and the representation of digital in terms of the asynchronous, ayan, and the synchronous. What are other physical quantities that represent 0 and 1? So we have the CPU, the disk, the CD, the dynamic RAM, ayan. So ang mga representations po niyan, we have the For the disk is the magnetic field. Of course, for the CD, direction lang naman yan, di ba? Counterclockwise or clockwise. And even for the dynamic RAM, we have the electrical charge. Ayan. So, ngayon, let's proceed to the number systems. Isa sa mga kailangan natin maintindihan as basic requirement is maintindihan natin ano ba yung decimal, binary, hexadecimal, and octal. So, ito yung ating representation for the decimal and the binary. Ayan. So, ito po yung ating table for that. Of course, yung special powers of 2. Ayan, 2 raised to 10. Ibig sabihin po nun ay denoted by K or the kilo. 1,024. And then kapag nakakita tayo ng 2 raised to 20 or nire-represent na natin into million, so that is mega denoted by M. And then we have the giga and the tera and so on. So this is useful for the base conversion. Ayan, so we have for the positive powers of 2 exponents from 0 to 21. Ayan, i-erase lang naman po natin yan by 2. And these are the equivalent value. So, tandaan natin yung radix natin for the binary. Of course, 2 yun. Octal is 8. Decimal is 10. Hexadecimal is 16. Kung magbigay man sa inyo ng different radix or different number system, pwede na naman natin siyang ma-represent kapag alam na po natin yung apat na ito. So, these are the equivalent digits. Of course, for binary, 0 and 1 lang yan. For the octal, so we have 0 to 7. We always start with 0. For the decimal, 0 to 9. And of course, for the hexadecimal, 0 to F. Siyempre, yung A, 10 yun, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Kaya sa hexadecimal, 0 to 15. Yun nga lang, yung A to F represented values 10 to 15. Alright? Sige, check lang natin. Baka meron pang nahabol. Meron pa. Okay. Alright. Yan. So, mahalaga na ma-memorize natin. Kung kaya po natin i-memorize, so be it. Kasi nga magko-convert tayo from one base to another base. Ayan. So, decimal is of base 10. As you know, binary is base 2. Octal is base 8. And hexadecimal is base 16. Alright. So, this is how you represent from 0 to 16. Similar to what I have mentioned earlier. Kapag nakakita tayo ng ganito, ibig sabihin yan, itong least significant bit, yung nasa pinaka kanan, ito. Yung 0 dito, 2 raised to 0 yan. And then ito ay 2 raised to 1, 2 raised to 2, 2 raised to 3, 2 raised to 4. Alright. So, i-multiply mo siya doon sa kanyang coefficient or sa constant. So, sa case na ito, 0 tong apat, so don't mind lang yan. 2 raised to 0 lang to. 2 raised to 0 is 1 times 1 is 1. Kaya 1 po siya sa decimal. Ito naman, 2 raised to 0, 2 raised to 1, 2 raised to 1 is 2 times 1, kaya 2. Ito naman, 2 raised to 0 is 1 plus 2, 3. Kaya siya po ay 3. Alright? So, yun lang po yung idea behind this. So, ibig sabihin yan, eto, pagdating naman natin sa octal, pagdating dito sa part na to, ang representation na nito ay 8. Kasi ito ay 2 raised to 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. 2 raised to 3 is 8. Okay? Ayan. And then, up to dumating tayo dito sa last, which is 16. Ayan. So, I think that's it for now for the module 1. So, nakatapos na tayo ng isang module about digital systems and switching circuits. May questions po ba tayo before po ako mag-end ng recording? Sige, stop ko muna yung recording para maiksi lang yung ating papanoorin.